everyone. My name is Agnia and you are watching now Peace Revolution channel. And Peace Revolution is a project that brings peace to the world through the practice of meditation and mindfulness. And also we are bringing to you all kinds of interesting personalities, people that can inspire you to develop yourselves through different kinds of means. And today we have one such very interesting person, and his name is Salvi Greco. Hello, Salvi.
Hello to you, Agnia, and to everybody.
Yes, it's very nice to have you with us today. And just to say a few words about Salvi. So Salvi is a youth trainer and facilitator in the field of non-formal education. And today we are going to speak about how non-formal education can contribute to your self-development. So we all know what is formal education. It's all about going to the school and gaining education at school. But then what is non-formal education and how can it help you grow? Also, we are very open to your questions, so you can comment this video or ask questions and we will get to answer to them later on. So Salvi, are you ready to start?
I'm ready to start and to share a little bit with you.
Okay, Salvi. So the first question, just to be clear, what is non-formal education for you?
Just to be clear, it's already a big thing because something that we have a bit in our field is that many times we say that it's not that easy to explain in few words what non-formal education is. Before you mentioned already formal education, like mentioning the structure, like going to school or university or any kind of formal setting, let's say, where there is a teacher, a professor, and a class, let's say, or a group of people that are there to listen, etc. So, following the topic of the structure of formal education, it's something about learning that happens in a different context, which is not in the school, meaning not structured like the school, starting in the beginning of the year, ending in the end of the year, getting the diploma, or this kind of stuff. Formal education most of the times happen in shorter term activities like training courses or seminars. And there are different pillars that defines a bit non-formal education. Maybe it would be a bit too long to go through the different pillars. And also, like for many things, there are different understandings also about non-formal education. So what for me counts when it's about non-formal education is that the group is the main source. And of course, there are different roles, different responsibilities. The trainers start to provide the space, to set the space. But then when you start working with the group around the topic that the activity is about, the group becomes fully part of the learning journey. And the trainers, besides giving maybe sometimes some input, but mostly creates the conditions where every single participant can really and fully interact in their own way, because also being active in the group could be another discussion. What it means to be active. Does it mean that you have to be talk active? Not necessarily. The active is to be part of the group in your own way, not by the way that somebody else defines. This for me, for example, is a crucial element. So in the role, responsibility of the trainer is also to give the space to the participants of the activity, to give them the space, but also to allow them to take the space the way they feel, the way they want. So this is for me, if I have to pick amongst many, this would be an element that for me is quite important in defining non-formal education, but also in defining the role of the trainer, of the facilitator.
Mm-hmm. Wow, I really like this, giving the space that sometimes we think it's all about activity, but actually it could be another way for someone else. It doesn't need to be like physically active always. It can be more silent and still your own way. That's a very good point that you made. And,
exactly. Also, just because you mentioned physically active,
yeah.
because in these settings of non-formal education, say many times we use activities, methods that imply also somehow physical movement. But yeah, it's very good. The ideal is always to give to participants the right to choose. Of course, the trainers, the facilitators, they have to propose something, some kind of method through which you go deeper into the topic, but then to allow participants to choose if they really want to do in that way or maybe not. Perhaps sharing in the group. So this is so that the participation of people has to happen on a voluntary base. This is another pillar, let's say, of non-formal education.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, and then you said you are the facilitator. You are one of these people who are there, who are facilitating the process and giving that space for the participants to discover themselves, to be themselves, and to learn. And could you tell us a bit more about your path, how it started for you? Because obviously you were not a facilitator already from the beginning, right? So how did this happen to you?
Well, every time I'm asked, like, how did you start? It's interesting because every time maybe you find a different starting point. But how I started actually was when I was not even aware that what I started to do was like non-formal education. It was when after the school I started with my organization, doing activities which were about theater, which were about music, and other kinds of activities with young people, with children. And then I did also some street work education activity, still with young people. And this is actually where I started. And that led me later on to join some of the European projects of the European Commission for youth and adults, which was actually in 2001, 2002 with the program that at that time was called Youth. And there, how to say, first the program was clearly based on non-formal education. So I got to understand a bit better the concept and how you can use it for yourself to work with groups. So this was a bit, in short, the path. When I started in my local dimension to do activities with young people, and then that was more as a youth worker, let's say. And this led me actually to these European programs where I could really find another specific dimension that was really, really crucial in my path, also in becoming a trainer.
So how many years you are already a trainer?
As a trainer, I started in 2006, facilitating my first seminars and training courses. And then in 2007, 2008, it was the other very important milestone when I participated in the training of trainers of Salto, Training Cooperation Research Center, which is a long-term training course for trainers. And there I got even more deeper understanding of non-formal education, of working with groups, facilitating group and personal dynamics and processes. And then it's what I'm doing.
Okay. And also, if we go a bit back to the school topic, you have this very interesting quote that you said that you started learning when you finished your studies, right?
Yes.
And that you have this story of being in a school and not really going for university, right? And this was also kind of a reason for maybe a bit lower self-esteem. So how did non-formal education inspired you to go through that?
This quote that I made for myself, like I started learning when I finished my studies. But it was already a few years ago, but I still keep it with me because somehow, of course, it's playing a bit with words also. No? Maybe it's a little provocation also. Mm-hmm. Because when I was following the formal path, let's say, of learning in school, of course I learned something, but it was not something that was inspiring me. It was, how to say, that structure wasn't working with me. And that's why, even if I was still young, but I was pretty sure that going to the university wouldn't have worked with me, and I didn't go to university. Mm-hmm. And I started my learning path just following my interests. Mm-hmm. And I say that after my studies, when I started to really follow my interests, I really started to learn because I was passionate about what's... and it was a very non-linear path because I was jumping also from one thing to another thing. So I was learning, let's say, about many things, sometimes very different things from each other. But that is something that I would define learning. No? Mm-hmm. Then, of course, later on, when you are more and more able to process everything that happens to you, of course, I can recognize and acknowledge all the things that I've learned also when I was in school, when I was working, because I did many different jobs. But this comes later, no? And this capacity to process, to work on your personal learning process, this came actually with no formal education. Because simply, I found there something that I never found before, like time during the day of a training course, time for yourself to really reflect, to really process what happened during the day. Mm-hmm. And you could do that, and you can still do that on your own, in a personal reflection dimension, etc., but also in pairs, but also in small groups. So quite some time is dedicated, or should be really dedicated, for this self-reflection, self-assessment, still with the support of the group, because it's always a mutual process. No? You are there for your own development and learning, but you are still in a group where sharing is the most important thing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So, and is this something you have still taken with you, the self-reflection part, which you mentioned happens on training courses, but maybe also now on your day-to-day life you integrate it in your day?
The self-reflection and this processing things, no, it's in training courses happen in a quite specific way, like that there is time defined every day to do that, and there are also tools and methods to facilitate this this self-reflection and reflection process. But then when it starts to be a habit, also when you are at home, when you are in other places, in a different way, but you still do it, simply because you know the importance that it has. And also because there is one word that we use so many times in different contexts, in different settings. When we talk about experience, how many times we say experience trainer, experience manager, whatever. But it's very interesting also to reflect on experience. No, I like the quote of a philosopher who said, "Experience is not what happened to you, but is what you do with what happened to you." So, meaning that if you don't stop from time to time at least to reflect on what happened to you. All the things that you live, all the things that you go through, maybe don't really become experience. You have to be aware of something to transform it into experience. No?
So could it be like you are gaining some kind of new perspective of how to basically live your life or how to perceive your life?
Absolutely. When I mention my milestones, that like we are talking now, being a trainer, etc. For me, it's not just a professional level. The year when I did the training of trainers, for example, that for me was not only changing and improving my competences as a trainer, but it was also, how to say, learning a lot about myself, and this changed also thing on a personal level in how I relate with the world, I would say. And that's the thing, you become aware of certain things that are not just things for your work, you close the training room, you go up, are things that you bring with you, of course, and then the deeper you go, the deeper also you change on a professional level, of course, and human, professional and personal human level. This is very exciting. Sometimes it's also exhausting because you really feel it, that there is never the moment when you feel like, now I'm like this, I'm okay, or it's really a continuous, a never-ending process.
Yeah, so it sort of expands into your life and it just becomes part of you. Yeah. And also I really liked that you were using a lot of the word awareness and being aware, right? And this somehow kind of links to what we do as Peace Revolution, and we are using the tool which is meditation to basically bring out the same kind of results, which is more awareness, more being in the moment, more being here and now, and realizing what you truly do with your thoughts, with your speech and with your actions. So what would be what do you think, since also you have taken part in some of our programs, can meditation be used as an effective method for this awareness and what it means to you?
Well, absolutely, it can be. I've been in one of your activities, in one in particular, the European Peace Summit in Hungary a couple of years ago. And if I was there, it was not only because I had a keynote there, a little speech, but it was because I was a bit into meditation also. I don't practice regularly meditation. But I find very important to have these moments when you sit still or you stand still, or to really be with yourself. So as many things, it can be done in different ways. There is a practice. There are very structured practices, but I like also, as some expert says, that already to start with this moment to be still is already quite important, and this is what I keep still with me. And yes, especially in times like our times where our lives are quite hectic, I think it's really important, again, to have these moments to be with yourself and to be as much as possible aware of yourself, of the world around you. Yeah, because this is another element, that in different fields, sometimes we take it also like we live in times also where there is a lot about the self, self-reflection, self-development, etc. But it's very important to keep the link, the bridge, with you and the world around you. Of course, the first step, of course, is to know yourself, to be aware of yourself. Otherwise, it's also a bit more difficult to relate with the world around you.
Yeah. Yeah, so basically different tools can be used, as you said, but I think the aim of whichever tool you are using for your time being with yourself is still the kind of gaining your peace with your own world or peace with yourself, so that you can later have peace with others. And for instance, this is what we are doing with meditation and mindfulness. And I was wondering how is this peace building part or peacemaking, peace building part happening in non-formal education? If somehow it's also involved in those activities that you are proposing people to do.
Well, peace building is really it's a huge concept. I don't know. When you say this peace building, my mind goes back when I was young, and I was involved a lot in movements, for peace. And that was basically being part of this movement, talking about it, and then many times the aim was to organize demonstrations, especially in periods when some bigger war, some bigger issue appeared. But actually, I was very happy, of course, in being part of those movements. But I had also always a strange feeling, especially after this huge demonstrations in the streets. I remember being in Rome, for example, with 1 million, 3 million people in the streets to shout for peace, and that coming back home, there was always something missing, and I could not really define it, how to say, properly, until when I started actually with this European project based on formal education, etc. And when we started to work with small groups, 25, 30 people in the group, and many times the topics were clearly related to peace, like human rights, conflict solution, I don't know. But then I realized, first of all, that to work with a smaller group was much more effective, to bring some change, let's say. And the other thing that I realized was that to build peace is not only to shout against war. Of course, we don't want war, we are totally peacemakers, but to build peace is something that goes much more wider. It's starting from how you relate with people, no? It might sound extreme, but does it make sense to go to a demonstration for peace and then the way you relate with people is being aggressive? Or I don't know, I'm thinking about banal stuff maybe, but this is what I've seen many times. Like where the leaders of demonstrations, many times were also really aggressive people, no? And that was one of the things that I was always a bit confused. And working with smaller groups, I could relate the peace building process. It's something that is not only about the war, which of course is a terrible thing, but again, also not to be overwhelmed by the many disasters in the world. Now, the moment that we are talking, if you open the newspapers, it's terrible what you read, no? Yeah. The risk is also that as a person that wants to build peace, you just get overwhelmed, you feel powerless in front of what you see and what happened, I don't know, in Syria or in other places where there is. So to have this peace-building idea that starts with the simple fact of how I relate with people in a small group keeps you also more in perspective, not feeling powerless, because there is still something that you can do in your small dimension that hope links with other small dimensions and all the small dimensions. This is the only thing that in some moment, this is the only thing that we feel we can do, not to, again, feel power in front of such a big, terrible things that we see around.
Yeah, I really like this part about small dimension that, well, of course, we can't, just be very ambitious and go and save the world before actually we save first ourselves and then the local community around us. And yeah, this power of smaller group and first looking into the local level first. So, yes, my next question is exactly how can this non-formal education empower a person to go for such changes? So first, okay, person is changing himself, but then to also make changes in the local community, society, and how can it be empowering?
Mm. Well, on a personal level, of course, we can see a bit more easily, some changes. Sometimes you get clear feedbacks from people that maybe have attended a training course or seminar. You get specific feedbacks like what changed after 1 week. Sometimes it happens in a longer term period. Then of course, how to bring it back to your groups, to your communities. This is a bit of a challenge, because as I said before also, we are in times where there is a bit this self-dimension that is it's quite strong. But many times, at least in the context where I work more, people that I meet, with whom we work, with whom we train, most of the times are people that are involved in some NGO, in some other structure. So the aim is clearly to bring back to your group and then to your local community with the activities that they do with their organizations, to bring back simply what you have learned. And then, I mean, if we look, I don't know, maybe I'm going now with the quite, how to say, big dimension. But after 20 years almost with this European program, for example, Youth in Action, Erasmus Plus, and all the other programs for adults, Grundig domains in the past years, now it's everything Erasmus Plus. But if you look there, for example, after 20 years of these programs, you have really quite a part of Europe that feels to be more European. So this is a bit a little change, Maybe 25 years ago, there was not this awareness of Europe as a place where people are living more or less under the same roof. Now this is also thanks to the Erasmus program for university. Referring to that is more clear when we talk about the Erasmus generation, meaning all the students that have gone through these university exchanges. So this is to say that is a change that was brought thanks to this program and thanks to non-formal education. It's something that many times is not enough highlighted. Like the real Europe. I say this also because, of course, we live in a period where the Europe topic, and especially the European Union, is a bit also controversial. We had the Brexit stuff. We know that in many countries there are very critical, not to say more, parties and movements. And this virtuous path of Europe, maybe because it's part of a smaller, these educational programs are not really the most visible thing. Politics and economy, of course, economical stuff are more in the discussion. But all what happened thanks to this European projects based on formal education mostly, that really brought together of people, that really created a big community of organizations, NGOs, of people, managers, trainers, and also for a few years and still there is one of the big topics is employability, or unemployability for young people. But it's also true, for example, in terms of numbers, I don't know how the impact could be defined. But thanks to these programs and thanks to non-formal education and to this empower, many people could create something that is a job. Manage an NGO, becoming a trainer, becoming a youth worker. So this for me is something that refers to what we're asking, in which ways empowering. This for me, it's also quite concrete. I know so many people. I'm not that good in numbers, but there are also numbers. Even if, of course, on the political level, they are never really happy with numbers. But numbers is also a little trap that we don't have to follow, because sometimes the quality of things that happen is not really defined by the numbers also.
Yeah, this was actually kind of leading to my next question: how to measure, how to measure success of all these projects, so many trainings, and when people bring back home, when they share, how can we actually measure? So apart from this, I don't know, is there something else how we can see that change, or what personally for you stands as a kind of I don't know, that keeps you saying, okay, this is why I'm doing this from my day-to-day life, and this is exactly the reason.
Well, I said before that I'm not that okay with numbers in many cases. And I don't have also this need, not to say obsession, of measuring things. But still, I understand that it can be, at least for somebody or at certain levels, can be important to have it. About measurement, I could distinguish at least on two different levels. One is the personal dimension, what you learn, in which way you are developing, etc. And again, in this sense, we go back to where we started, a bit like this self reflection, and where we really try to understand. And then a self-assessment comes. On a personal level and also group level, when you have a training course, you have little tools to facilitate this. You can go with the daily diary, where maybe with some guided questions you help people to reflect and assess what they have learned. But also about their feelings, always. And then there are also, so during trainings, the team of trainers chooses what the tool, the method that fits more this part to measure somehow, to assess what you have learned and how you are going through the process. And then there are also other tools that were created. The most known in our field for sure is the Youth Pass, which in the beginning, but only in the beginning, it looks like a certificate that you get at the end of the training course or the youth exchange. But of course, it's not only a certificate. It is a process. It's a process about self assessment, reflection, and there are the famous 8 key competences through which you can make a first assessment on 8 key competences. Of course, also the concept of competence itself and the competence-based approach by somebody that's a bit how to say, discussed sometimes, like is it or not, but still, you try to. The point is also the purpose of the tool and why you are using it. Recently, in the last 2-3 years, there were also another set of competences that were developed in the framework of the European training strategy, the competence model for trainers and the competence model for youth workers. This helps a lot, more specifically trainers and youth workers, not only to self-assess yourself through different competences, but sometimes in a field where recognition is still lacking a bit, or this is so looking at those competences, it's also really like, this is actually what we do. So these are also, how to say, tools that can help to self-assess and maybe measure. If measure is really, it's really a need.
Yeah, I have heard that Youth Pass is being more and more recognized, and also people attach it to their CVs when they go to apply for a job, or it can be used as a measurement tool. And now on a more personal level, what is it that determines for you that, let's say, this training course, because you go from one to another, and it's a lot of training courses, I assume. So what determines for you that, okay, this one was good, or this moment means that my work is appreciated, or my work is needed to this world or to these young people? So what is it for you?
How I can understand if the training course was a good one. We have during the training an ongoing reflection and evaluation process, which helps us also on a daily basis to understand how things are going in terms of content, in terms of the processes, the group, the individuals in the group. So that's why, again, to really dedicate a specific and enough time for this reflection and evaluation is quite important, because it's throughout the training course. So you can even adjust, because again, from education is also this part that is very important. With this feedback that you get daily, you can assess, adjust, sometimes change also a lot of program. If you get clear constructive feedback from the group that maybe needs to go in a bit different direction, or to add something, or and then of course in the end you have a good portion of time to make a final evaluation of the training course. That happens in different ways. With that ongoing reflection and evaluation, and with the final evaluation, many times you have already quite a good picture of how it went. If participants were happy with how the content were developed, how the methodology worked, how was the interaction in the group, so also about the process of the group, of the individuals, with the team of the trainers. So everything about also feelings. And in general, let's say that with this reflection and evaluation you have on a daily basis, in the end, as a global evaluation of the training course, you have already a good picture that tells you how it was. And then, of course, you have also your evaluation in the team, which is another step, and when you focus the training course from a different perspective, because a happy group in the end doesn't mean necessarily that the team maybe is happy with how the contents were developed. So you have the evaluation with the group of participants, and you have the reflection and evaluation with the team. So you have also this double dimension that help to understand what was very good, what was okay, and what maybe needs to be improved.
And what happens with those people, with those participants who come to the training course, and then And then, do you hear from them? Do you see them again? Do you see that they have brought some changes in their communities? Do they come to more training courses? Do you notice any of that personal development?
Well, yeah. Many times it happens to meet again. Somebody that was in a training course, you meet again in another training course, or you meet at a conference. Sometimes maybe you don't meet again, but not with everybody in the group, but with some people of the group you keep in touch, also for in the future. And then you get this feedback, this happened quite some time when participants of the training course come back to you to say, after 2 years maybe, now I'm doing this, and thanks to that training course, I'm doing what I'm doing right now. This is something that happened. Many people coming to training courses and then start to get more involved in organizations, in the local community. This is not a rule, of course. There are also many people that do some work and then they need a training course for something specific, and they go back. But again, this is also about how you know about the impact. Sometimes you know, because people really, some people are really also happy to share with you, and say thank you. But sometimes somebody just don't do it. And it's fine, it's perfectly fine. And the other very interesting thing is when you meet somebody really after years, 3, 4, 5 years, and you were never in contact during the period. And then you get after 3, 4, 5 years amazing feedback of how important that training was before was. And so this thing of the impact also, of course, the more you know about the impact, the better it is. But that's why I say also that we shouldn't get stressed with that, because if we think to ourselves also, how many things that happened 20 years ago come now back to our life and have a useful. So that's why for me one crucial element of training courses is to make people also living a nice experience. Which doesn't mean to please them and just to create, maybe to make some emotional manipulation. No, I'm not talking about really talking about creating a space, an environment where people can live a happy experience, a joyful experience. Why not? What's wrong with that? Sometimes we have this discussion among trainers. But if they are happy in the end, it doesn't mean that they have learned. I don't know. I mean, but what's wrong with having as aim also to have an experience that is genuinely, again, not force or manipulate just to have happy people in the end. So and also because as expert says, years later a child will not remember the things that you taught him. He will remember the moment that he lived. And transfer this thing also to my work to the extent that is possible. So that's why to create these conditions, I like a lot this creating the conditions where people can feel at ease as much as possible. I'm not one of those trainers who go there with the idea of challenging people, for example, which is not wrong. I don't argue with those who do. But for me, it's not really the purpose, because there are many people who have this idea. I like to challenge people. For me, it doesn't mean anything. I can challenge somebody. First of all, if this person asks me, please challenge me, and then about some specific thing. So that's why this creating the condition means creating a space where people feel safe. Also maybe take then a challenge when it comes, because challenge you never know what is a challenge for somebody when challenge appears in a week of a training. So to create a safe environment where people feel also to get out of the famous comfort zone.
The famous
the fact, because also this is a lot in our rhetoric narrative, like oh, our comfort zone. Yes, of course, in principle, it's right, but I like to say, for example, before leaving your comfort zone, it's good to know your comfort zone.
Exactly. Yeah.
Your comfort zone, because it's also good to go back there from time to time when you go out and you go to more challenging stuff. As for many things, how you understand it, how you put it in a place, what's your purpose of being with people? Because being a trainer, a facilitator, first of all, it means that you choose to be with group of people, group people. So, and for me, is why. Of course, the training courses are about the topic, it's about learning to learn, it's about human rights, whatever. The first thing is that I'm going to work with a group of people that come from different places to have 5 days, 6 days, a week together. And so I ask myself, why do you want to be with them? Since I don't feel to be the person that can teach anything. So then for me, it might sound like a banal question, but for me it's important. What's the purpose of being and working with a group of people, which of course is not an easy thing. Many times it's nice, but sometimes it's also a challenge, because 20-25 people, different contexts, sometimes you have also quite difficult processes. If you from time to time don't remind yourself, why the hell am I try to be so often in groups of people and working intensively together and sharing and creating, etc. Yeah.
So yeah, what is the answer? Why up to this day you are still a youth trainer, a facilitator, and putting yourself in these group situations?
I like being with people. Would be a very easy answer. I like being with people in a space where you know that in a condensed time you have really a journey. Because based on formal education, you really go through content, but you go also a lot through personal and group processes. And this in one week, sometimes you really feel like you have lived 3 years, and this happened for me. At least it happened a lot specifically in that kind of dimension. I know that for me is a way to keep myself learning and growing and putting myself in discussion. So these are other reasons why I like this. And then, of course, I hope also that I can contribute a bit with the experience I've gained so far.
And now coming back, yes, to you. How does a day-to-day life look to a youth trainer? Like, yeah.
A day-to-day life, it has different layers, because as a trainer, I work mostly at this European dimension. So like being often here and there.
Traveling a lot.
It's moving a lot, yes. Then it means that to prepare all that there is quite some work that you do at home or in other places. And an interesting thing of daily life. It's, for example, to spend quite some time in Skype or other video call things to have meetings. It's a kind of parallel life, the same way that like people that work locally, they have many times a lot of meetings. Still, you do it online, but sometimes I really spend hours per day to have Skype meetings. And then, of course, it's a lot about keep learning about the things that you work. And that for me is nice, but also challenging, because not being like a structured person, maybe no, this kind of structure for how to organize your learning comes for those, for example, who go to the university. For them, I see it's a bit clearer, how structured it is. For me, not being a structured person, not really a linear person, also this part of learning, it's very nice, but also challenging, because I find myself jumping from one thing to another one. But it's also another big part of the studying, learning, reading, watching inspirational things, and really from very different contexts and fields, because I find for myself also this is very interesting. Not only sources that come from my specific field, specific topics I work with. I really like to go around different styles that apparently are really far from the topics I work, but gives me sometimes really lot of inspiration and things that I bring in my work.
And where is your next training course about to happen, and when?
My next training course will be in May in Italy. Actually, it's not exactly a training course, it's the closing seminar of a long-term project that we started in November with the National Agency for Youth. We had the first training course in November in Palermo, then we had a process all the group back home, working in small groups, etc. And in May we have the closing seminar in Pescara, in Italy.
Okay. And also you are normally based in Italy, right?
Yes. I'm based in the south of Italy, yes.
And now the very last question, if someone really wants to start walking on the self-development path through non-formal education, what would be your advice? Or something you would like to say, like where to start and
Well, I always say that my advice is don't take advice from anybody unless you ask for that.
That's a good advice.
No, I mean to start working in formal education. I mean it's something that I just recommend to anybody that didn't yet try maybe a youth exchange or pay course, because it really opens really different dimensions and many windows that opens that gives you new views and new perspectives. How to start? The idea is to maybe find an NGO, an organization that works with that, and because actually it's difficult to say how to start, no? Because this is on the practical level to participate in these activities. If we refer to these European programs, of course there are programs, there are of the activities, they are planned, they are organized, there are projects that were written. So there are organizations working on that. So the easiest way is to get to that through some organizations and then why I say that it's not easy for me to say how to start, because it's also formal education. What was powerful for me, for example, is that there is not a predefined path. Build path according to what you really want to develop for yourself, for somebody else, like your local community or organization. So again, the most important thing is to really try to define also your interests. What are your interests? What are your passions? Then, according to that, also trying to find a project to an organization, because otherwise it can be just a funny activity,
Exactly, yeah.
So to understand also what are your interests and passions and what you want to learn. So when we say self-development, it means everything and nothing. So what you want to develop. And according to that, maybe you start. And then when you enter, the nice but also challenging thing is that there is nobody saying, okay, now you made this first step and this is the second one. You create your path And this is also very nice because you can really build on yourself and maybe on the context where you live.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really liked your advice, how we call it, but also it goes back to something what you already said in the beginning, that the way you started, you simply followed your interests, and that's, nobody can tell you this. It's only you who can in the end define it for yourself and connect to something that you like doing and want to develop. Okay, Salvi, anything else you would like to add?
Just that I'm very happy that I had this conversation with you, and thanks to you for having me, and of course people that will listen to this conversation. And if there will be comments, if there is something that I can answer or comment more, I will for sure do.
Thank you so much, Salvi. Thank you for your time, and actually really a lot of inspiring things that you said. And yes, thank you to all the viewers, all the people who are watching us. And as Salvi said, you can leave your comments, you can give your feedback, and keep on watching our future interviews with even more people who may inspire you, continuing your path. Okay, thank you, and this is goodbye.
Ciao.